Hey everybody, it's Kneecap here, and welcome to This Week in WoW for the week of May 20th. Before we get started, let's shout out to the Patreon subscribers. We have Mario Casillas, Rep Rocks, Nick Rada, and Peter Burnham. Thank you guys so much for that support. It is very much appreciated. And now, let's hop in and talk about what's going on in the game this week. Probably the highlight's going to be the Horrific Vision stuff, so stick with me as we get there. We have the Winds of Mysterious Fortune event is going to come to an end. That was the extra XP, extra reputation stuff that was going on for the past few weeks. That came out with the beginning of the patch. We also have PvP Brawl, Warsong Scramble. So this is really good if you have been playing for a long time, or if you're a new player and you just want to get the old rep. Warsong Scramble is the way to get the Warsong Gold rep, whether you're Horde or Alliance. And then we have the War Within Dungeon event going on as well. Speaking of dungeons, more plus 12s timed last week than like ever before because people are trying to get the crest with this turbo boost thing going on. Tons of people are doing dungeons. Just an abnormal amount of dungeons are being done in the game right now. Especially, it's not the beginning of a patch, it's the middle of a patch. It's a crazy amount, an absolutely insane amount of dungeons being done. So that is going on as well, and so a lot of people will probably take advantage of that while they're doing their dungeons anyways. And of course, the next thing we'll talk about is going to be the highlight probably of this week, which is going to be the Horrific Visions Revisited. So Horrific Visions are back. If you're a Ret Paladin person and you want to know the best corruption for Ret Paladin, you didn't see the video. I already did a video about what corruption you should be targeting as a Ret Paladin and what to use. So you can go check that out. We talk about how to unlock them and stuff like that for you too. It's not a deep guide, but it's just, use this corruption. This is how you unlock them. And then I also already have out a guide for how to complete the Horrific Vision of Orgrimmar, and not just how to complete it, but where everything is in it. The potions, the buffs from killing little mini bosses, how to do things. Just basically a written guide in visual form. It's very detailed in that way. And I will do a Stormwind one whenever it's active. So I don't know what's going to be active today. I don't know if it's going to be Orgrimmar or Stormwind. If it's Stormwind today, I will try to go through and do it. It depends on how much stuff you can unlock on day one. And I will do a thing for Stormwind. So it could literally come out today, or it could come out tomorrow, or whenever. But I'll do a thing for Stormwind as soon as possible. So that way I have both of those done. And then another video I will do is I will do a Ret Paladin full mass clear on Orgrimmar, and a Ret Paladin full mass clear on Stormwind. And I will do a video going over that and my talents for the Ret Paladin people. If you also want to do like full clears, whether that's for the achievements or whatever else you can get from that, I will be doing that as well. I always whatever the hardest mode of something is, I always make sure I do a Ret guide on how to do that. So I will be doing that at some point as well, whether that's this week or next week. I don't even know what's all available week one, but as soon as I can, I will do that as well. So these Horrific Visions are coming out. Basically, the TLDR is you just kind of you can run them infinitely now. You don't have to have these vessels to plug in like you did back in BFA if you played in BFA. You can just keep queuing for them, unlock everything, unlock all the currencies, unlock your helm enchants for the borrowed power of the corruption enchants and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty quick. You do it right there in Dornogal. You just go to you'll get a quest to fly over to the starting area of Dornogal, like when you first come in on the quest line, like when you first leveled up, and you will just talk to some Bronze Drakes there, do some stuff, and go in and just start grinding it out. Not too crazy, but obviously if you don't know what you're doing, that's where those guides or whatever could come in handy for you. So that's the biggest thing coming out this week, and it'll be, I know for like Ret Paladin, it's like an extra 60 to 70k single target damage for you. So it's pretty significant. It's definitely not nothing. It's like one huge gear upgrade basically, right? Or like a weapon upgrade. So it's pretty significant. So that should help when whatever content you're doing, whether it's the Mythic Plus Dungeons or the raid or whatever else. So make sure you grab those. Another interesting thing is we also had the final of the Group C this past weekend, and by final I mean the final group of the MDI going on. So now that I kind of know more, they kind of merged the MDI with the TGP, and it's kind of the TGP still, but with a little bit more emphasis on speed. And Yeah, I've had a blast watching the last 3 weeks. I believe this week is off, and then a week from now will be the finals of it. But I was actually watching it, really enjoying it, really enjoying learn some of the tricks. I've done groups where like the routes they've shifted the routes, doing even in like pug groups to doing these like higher end routes, like maybe not pulling as much stuff, but doing the route because it's quicker. Has been very enjoyable. Honestly, I love when TGP or MDI or whatever happens early enough in a season to where it still can kind of help people actually playing it, the actual game, like off the tournament realm. So very much enjoyed watching that. I've watched all 3 weekends of it. This past weekend was particularly good. The mandatory team is just absolutely crazy. So been doing that, and then we also had, probably worth noting, we could probably end it because it's been a little bit. This is a bit of a long one here, but Ian has a Costas. I don't know if he's like the head director now or whatever. He's moving on up in the ranks of World of Warcraft, but had one of the head people of World of Warcraft, former developer. I don't know if he's still a developer or not, or if he's just like in charge of stuff now. But he did an interview, I believe, with like PC Game or something like that, basically talking about how 11.1.5 was an acceptable quality because they only launched the one feature and the one feature didn't work. The event, the Nightfall event, it was so bugged for like a week. Some people it's still bugged for some people. I haven't had trouble with it after that first week, but I feel for anybody who is still having trouble with it. And so basically saying that it's not acceptable, that they release the content slowly like this so that way people didn't feel overwhelmed, but they probably should have put something at the start of it as well, not just the Nightfall, like whether that's the Horrific Visions or the Turbo Boost, but they should have put something at the start of the patch and then slowly release the other couple things or whatever, to not overwhelm. Because the reality is, if you did Turbo Boost and Horrific Visions on the same day, that would be overwhelming, but the reality is that they're only a week apart. So something should have been like 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago or at the beginning of the patch. These two things are very close together. And, if you're a sicko like me who just grinded a ton of Mythic Plus this past week, and already have your gear like maxed out or whatever, then that's fine. But if not, you might still have stuff you need to do this week. And now you have these Horrific Visions coming out on top of it. So that might be a little bit much for you. So yeah, definitely some issues there with their cadence and the way they time this stuff out. Hopefully that doesn't happen again, but let's be honest, some of these events, they are just buggy, and I don't know why that is. I can't imagine they put too many resources into them, and so, that's probably just the real answer is why, but nothing as bad as the Farak Assaults back in Dragonflight, and so as long as it doesn't get that bad, I'll be fine with it. Actually kind of like the Nightfall event now that it's working, but them releasing it not working is truly not acceptable, and I agree with that 100%. I think I speak for the entire player base to say that that's not acceptable to release one event on a patch and have it not work. So I'm glad they at least said it, but I don't actually see the event stuff getting like that dramatically better. Even though, like I said, Nightfall was a decent event, but I just don't see them releasing it and just working perfectly. I just don't anymore. And maybe that's sad, but I mean, I don't really care. But, I think that just is what it is, as they say. So, yeah, that will end this one there. We had a lot of talk on Horrific Visions. Stay tuned for more Horrific Visions content coming out. I really enjoy Horrific Visions. Any solo content like that. Mage Tower. When the Mage Tower came back, I did guides for other specs other than Rat, like, just because I like doing it. I like doing this kind of challenging solo content, speed running these Horrific Visions. Obviously, Horrific Visions aren't the most challenging content, but with the full mask and speed running it, that can be a bit challenging. So I love doing that kind of stuff. So that's what the kind of stuff I do content on the most, right? So I do Rep Paladin stuff. I do Horrific Visions. I'll do Mage Tower. I'll do secret, any kind of secret finding stuff. If I enjoy doing it, that's the content that I do. So as always, I do ask you to please subscribe to the channel because that helps me out a lot. If you're already a subscriber, I encourage you to check out the Patreon. And other than that, everybody, have a good one.